After World War II, Germany remained divided for over 4 decades. It wasn't until 1990 that the country was unified again, forming the Federal Republic of Germany. Now over 30 years after reunification, are there still significant differences and divisions between West and East Germany? In this video, we'll explore this topic. Stay tuned. At the Potsdam Conference, following Nazi Germany's unconditional surrender on May 8, 1945, the Allies officially divided Germany into 4 military occupation zones: France in the southwest, the United Kingdom in the northwest, the United States in the south, and the Soviet Union in the east. Despite being located entirely within the Soviet zone, Berlin, due to its symbolic importance as the nation's capital and former seat of the Nazi government, was jointly occupied by the Allied powers and subdivided into 4 sectors. Shortly after World War II ended, tensions between the Western Allies and the Soviet Union escalated, marking the beginning of the Cold War era, with Germany becoming a significant front in this conflict. In 1947, the British and the American zones merged to form the quasi-state of Bizonia, which later expanded to include the French zone in 1948, becoming Trizonia. In May 1949, the Federal Republic of Germany, commonly known as West Germany, was established with the adoption of its constitution. A few months later, the Soviet Union established the German Democratic Republic in its occupied zone. From their inception, East and West Germany pursued different paths. West Germany embraced a free market economy and operated under a federal parliamentary system with fair and free elections, while East Germany adopted a planned economy and operated as a single-party system under the Socialist Unity Party of Germany. In the 1980s, the decline of communist regimes began, with Germany at the forefront of this process. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989, a symbol of Germany's partition erected in 1961, marked a pivotal moment in history. With both Western and Eastern Berliners celebrating, the reunification of the two Germanys became inevitable. Finally, in October 1990, East Germany accepted West Germany's constitution, leading to the unification of the two countries. This resulted in the incorporation of the 10 former states of West Germany and the addition of 5 new states that were previously part of East Germany, along with the unified city-state of Berlin. After more than 4 decades of partition and markedly different policies, these two countries, with their shared background and history, had to work together once again. Now, more than 3 decades after unification, do these two parts still exhibit differences? To answer this question, we will compare them politically, economically, and culturally. Berlin will be excluded from our comparison due to its unique status as the capital of Germany. Let's begin with the political landscape. Voting patterns show us what's happening in politics. In the last German general election, Die Linke, a left-wing party and successor to the Socialist Unity Party of Germany, which was the ruling party in East Germany, received more votes in the former eastern regions compared to other areas, indicating ongoing divisions between the two former Germanys. Interestingly, the far-right party Alternative for Deutschland, or AfD, also saw greater support in these regions. This trend is reflected in the distribution of seats held by these parties in the states' parliaments. 5 out of the top 6 shares of AfD seats in the state parliaments are in the new states that were formerly part of East Germany. Similarly, Die Linke's presence is concentrated in these regions, with 5 of the new states ranking among the top 7 in terms of left party seats. Moreover, in 2 states, Die Linke has managed to secure positions in coalition local governments. Thus, it can be observed that the new states in unified Germany exhibit greater polarization compared to their counterparts in West Germany. Now let's explore the economic landscape. It's crucial to examine 3 key economic indicators: gross regional product per capita, unemployment rate, and average salary. Despite progress over the past 30 years, a significant disparity between the new and old states persists. In terms of gross regional product per capita, all 5 new states in former East Germany rank at the bottom compared to the others. The average in the eastern states is approximately 30% lower than in the western states and 25% lower than the national average. The unemployment rate paints a similar picture, with eastern states performing less favorably than their western counterparts. While Germany's overall unemployment rate stands at 5.3%, it's 5% in the western states and 6.7% in the eastern states. This difference highlights significantly higher unemployment rates in the former East Germany. Notably, there is a higher employment rate among women in the eastern part, possibly influenced by the GDR's promotion of women in the workforce. Lastly, examining the average salary across different regions of Germany reveals an inequality. In eastern Germany, the average salary is 38,700 euros compared to 45,500 euros in the West, creating a 15% gap between the regions. Although it's worth noting that the cost of living in the East is lower, even after accounting for this factor, the wage gap between the East and West remains significant. After examining the economic and political disparities between Eastern and Western Germany, it's important to look at the lasting cultural and social differences from before reunification. Religion serves as a notable metric in this regard. Germany has one of the highest percentages of non-religious populations globally. However, even within this context, the divide between West and East remains evident. Recent surveys indicate that 41% of the German population identifies as having no religious affiliation. While this figure stands at 35% in Western states, it rises significantly to 71% in the new states. This disparity in lack of religious affiliation can be partly attributed to the former GDR government's aggressive state atheist policies. However, it's worth noting that the enforcement of atheism in East Germany was less rigid compared to most other communist states. Another noteworthy aspect is the number of residents with migrant backgrounds in different states of Germany. Similar to previous examples, the division between the two Germanys remains the same in this aspect, with a significantly lower percentage of immigrants in the eastern part compared to the western. In all 5 new states, over 90% of residents do not have a migrant background, whereas this figure for Germany as a whole is approximately 70%. In conclusion, despite the fall of Berlin Wall more than 30 years ago, the mental barrier, or the invisible divide that separated the two Germanys, still persists. When we show the data on maps, the border between East and West Germany remains visible. There is even a cultural phenomenon in German society, particularly in the eastern states known as Ostalgie, which reflects nostalgia for aspects of life in communist East Germany. Moreover, there are occasional tendencies, though rare, towards a return of divisions among some Germans. Taking all these into consideration, it's evident that although East and West Germans were ethnically and culturally nearly identical before the partition, the legacy of 4 decades of division remains even after 30 years of reunification. This was a brief overview of the still ongoing division between East and West Germany. If you found this content informative, please like it and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear from you, so feel free to share your thoughts, comments, and ideas for future topics in the comment section. Thank you for joining, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.